guys, Julia here from JM Squared Vintage. Welcome back to the channel. I am here today with the bins haul. This is another day where I really only had like an hour and a half to get in, do my shopping, and get out. I always love these kind of days because it really like tests my like snap judgment, and it makes me a little bit more aggressive when I'm going through the bins. Usually I like to kind of like take my time and cruise through, but not on days when I'm rushed. So lots of interesting stuff to talk about here though. We've got a lot of interesting brands, some interesting like vintage pieces to talk about, and definitely a lot of like style-based pickups that are touching on the trends that are happening right now. So again, lots to talk about. But before we get started here, guys, if this is your first time here, if this is your first time stumbling on my channel, first and foremost, welcome. I am Julia. That is my name. We talk all things thrifting and vintage and the business of reselling on the internet here. If that sounds like something that you might be into, consider hitting subscribe down below. I would love to have you along on this journey. But without further ado, guys, we have a lot to get through. I think I have 39 or 40 pieces, which is crazy for an hour, to be clear. So again, lots to get through. So why don't you go grab yourself a snack, grab yourself a drink. You know I've got my matcha latte. So sit back, relax, and let's get into the goods. All right, so we're gonna start this off with this really pretty dress. This is from Trina Turk, and I just thought this was so pretty. This would be good for like a mother of the bride dress. This would be good for like a military ball. It's a little cocktail dress. It's fully embroidered front and back. It's got off the shoulder sleeves with a little flare on it. It is a smaller size, so it might take a little bit longer to sell. I actually didn't catch that until I got home, so when you're rushed. But Trina Turk is one of those brands that is just so expensive retail that on the secondhand market for stuff like this, I generally see north of about 50 bucks, sometimes up to 100, depending on what it is, depending on size, etc. But something like this, again, lots of keyword opportunities with, you know, mother of the bride, cocktail, party dress, formal dress, military ball, etc. Like this is a dress that isn't too young looking and also isn't too mature looking, so it has, you know, it's something that'll appeal to like a very wide span of women. So good find. Next up, this is something that I'm gonna pick up pretty much anytime I see it, but really only in the bins. And when I say that, I mean I'm talking about Zara. So this is from Zara. This is Zara men's. It's a size medium, but it's this like textured button-down shirt. I have sold this exact shirt twice, and both times they have sold for like 25 bucks in 2 or 3 weeks. So any kind of like resort wear for men has just been moving so fast for me. Let me know if you're having the same experience. Obviously we're going into fall in most of the country, so this might be a little bit of a slower move. This might not move until we're into like the spring break, you know, winter vacation phase of the year. These just move so quickly for me. And again, you know, this is Zara, so this probably only retailed for like 38 bucks. So like in relation to what it sells for retail, I get a really good price for these. Again, I would probably only play in this space specifically with Zara if you're in the bins or if you're getting things for like, you know, under 3 bucks or so. And there are certainly brands that do sell for significantly higher prices, but I would not leave this kind of stuff behind. I know that there's a lot of people out there that do not touch Zara, but if you kind of zero in on what you're looking for, bloggers' favorites, for me, menswear, you know, you can still make a great profit off of it, but you do have to keep your cost in check with them specifically. All right, next up, I'm gonna give this a try, and I'm kind of kicking myself because I've seen these things over time and I leave them behind because I don't really sew, and I know a lot of people pick these kind of things up to make new garments out of, but this is a little vintage tablecloth, and I just, like, I can't leave these things behind anymore. It kills me anytime I leave them behind. Look at this adorable little print. This is like a little square tablecloth. I'm sure this was for like a little tea table. And they seem to sell fairly well on like Etsy, and I do have an Etsy shop. So I'll probably see somewhere $20 to $25 for it. There is like a little hole in the middle, but again, if somebody's turning this into like a little skirt or something, I don't think that's gonna matter. They can probably just like hide that in a seam or like under a waistband or something, or cut around it. But I'm giving this a try, and if this sells really quickly for me, I will be picking up every single one that I see, because I have left these things behind and it hurts my soul because I don't know what to do with it. So let me know if this is the kind of stuff that you guys pick up. I'd be really interested to hear like how you do with it, or if you find these kind of things and you turn it into a new garment. Let me know. I'm really interested. I know I have a lot of super creative people out there, so I'm always interested to hear about your creations. So let's give this a try. I will feel so much better never leaving these behind ever again. Next up, this is another style pickup that I grabbed. This is another men's piece. This is from Nat Nast, who I think is a pretty high-end men's designer. I want to say that their shirts retail in like the $150 range, and this is 100% silk. The reason I picked this up is because it is a bowling style shirt. And I'm sure a lot of you who are around in the late 90s and early 2000s remember that this was a really big trend for men, and it's kind of seeing a bit of a comeback in the vintage world. So again, I like the colors. I like this blue and tan. The quality on this is really, really nice. And I've seen very similar shirts from Nat Nast. You know, I've seen their sold comps go for about 30 to 40 bucks. So a pretty decent sales price. This is the first one like this that I'm picking up. It's really the first one like this that I've seen. I always kind of have my eyes out for bowling style shirts, especially the vintage ones, because those do go for a good price if you can get your hands on them. So I will try to report back on what this sells for, but I think that this will sell fairly quickly. It's also a size 2XL, and it's silk and in beautiful condition, so it's got a lot going for it on top of the style. But this was definitely a style pickup. I've seen Nat Nast in the past, and I've left it behind, but giving it a try here. But hopefully this moves quickly, because like I said, I've been seeing these kind of bowling style shirts popping a little bit on that vintage market. Next up, another little vintage piece. This is a women's dress. It's from National, just the brand is National. And it's this little pin tuck style, kind of apron style dress. It's corduroy. Like I see a million girls in LA that would wear something like this, but it's just got this light like pin tucking detail all around the top that gives it a little bit of shape. And then it's got a cinching little tie that ties in the back or the front, and it's midi length, and it's a size large. Now, do I think that this is gonna go for a huge price? No, but I would not doubt if I see somewhere between like $25 and $30 on this. This is pure style pickup. This falls into that kind of like granny core aesthetic that is still really having a moment right now. Like this will sell to the same person that I sell those like embroidered denim vests to, right? Like it's the same, that's the same buyer for something like this. Super cute. I mean, we'll see how this does. I've never picked up anything like this. So we are trusting our gut, and we're gonna see where it takes us. And that is so much of what we do as resellers. I'll tell you one thing. We trust our gut on what we pick up, and we make our best guess on pricing. We don't work in a traditional office where we have coworkers that we can like bounce ideas off of. So that's why these kind of conversations that we have here are so important, because it is a place where we can kind of share our experiences and help inform each other's decisions. I know you guys have helped inform my decisions a lot. Hopefully I can help inform your decisions a little bit. So thanks for being there. Next up, a brand you should definitely always be picking up. And this was kind of a surprise. So I felt this before I saw what it was, and I'm like, ooh, that's really nice. Cotton rib, you know, I love that. And then I saw the little badge. So it is from Skims, which I really like Skims stuff. I think their stuff is really well made. Their fabrics are really innovative. And this is just like a little cream, I think the color that they use is marble, but it's a little cream colored ribbed bodycon mini dress. It's got a pieced bust, so it definitely has like a little bit of a lingerie flavor to it, especially with those straps. And the crazy thing is, so I would have gotten this regardless because it's Skims, and really like even just the most basic Skims piece is gonna sell for like 15 bucks minimum. But when I got this home and I took a look at sold comps on this dress in particular are between like $50 and $100. So whoa. So this might have been something that sold out really fast and just had a big demand, or it might have been like a limited edition drop. So I have to do a little bit more research into what this is. But I was floored when I saw some of those sold comps. You know, because when I pick something up like this, again, I'm just gonna pick it up because I know the brand and it's in great shape. And I know it's gonna be like a minimum, you know, $15, $20 sale. And don't you love it when you're pleasantly surprised like that? I'll take any moment like that that the universe wants to throw my way. Next up, we've got a little dress from the brand Pact. Now, Pact has been pushing a ton of ads on social media, and it's like a ribbed jersey. It's kind of like a heavyweight jersey, actually. What is this? I feel like their whole thing is that they're organic cotton, but this feels like it has some kind of tencel in it. Huh, 95% organic cotton, 5% elastane. So maybe it's just a good, dense quality fabric. So it's midi length, and it's a size 2X in this pretty like cheerful orange color. Now this is something that's a good like transitional color into fall, because this is a very fall color, despite the fact that this is a sleeveless dress. This is easily something somebody can throw a little jacket on or a cardigan over, or a little blazer or whatever. So in terms of resale comp, I couldn't find this specific dress in this specific color, but in terms of like the plus size packed stuff, sold comps were between like 25 and 35 bucks. So I'm interested to see how this does. I've only had like sweatpants and like a t-shirt or two from Packed, and they sold really well for me. So I'm interested to see how a dress does. This is so nice too. I love this color. I will say I do love their stuff like as a buyer. I have a pair of pants from them that are like double gauze wide leg, and they are a dream, and they get better with every wear. Next up, this is a big piece here. So this is another one that was a bit of a surprise. Now I felt this is linen, and I'm like, this feels like really nice linen. Now it is tie-dye, which is nowhere near as popular as it was, but I was intrigued by the shape of those legs. I don't know if you can see, but they're kind of like pleated in to give that like balloon shape. They're like an overall top with a tie back, kind of an open back like this. And then I saw, so they're from Free People. So I'm like, okay, I'll grab these. They are a size extra small, but like, hello? So obviously they're a very oversized piece. And again, I got them at the bin. So even if they sold for like 20 bucks, not a big deal. That's, you know, a lot of Free People stuff. Like that's what it's going for these days. So again, I got this home, looked it up. It found the exact same piece. And a lot of the sold comps are like $100. So again, gonna have to do a lot of digging on this. I'm gonna bank on probably $30 to $40, but obviously I'll dig in and see if like really that's what these are going for. But kind of wild. Two pieces with that like scarcity demand in one haul is rare, and you know, it always pays to comp. You know, for me, something like this would have, no matter what, passed my minimum threshold to pick it up, right? Like this is the kind of thing that I'm not gonna comp in store because I don't need to. I know that it's gonna net enough profit for me to be happy with it just by nature of what it's made of and who made it. And then when you get home and you have that pleasant surprise, it's a delight. So very cool. They seem very comfortable. I also don't believe that that's extra small because they are very big. They're very voluminous. Okay, next up. This is actually a pair of Spanx shapewear, and this is something that like not everybody's really gonna touch, but I will. I grabbed this for a couple reasons. Number one, these feel absolutely brand new. Like these look like these have maybe been worn once. The second good thing about these is that these are kind of like their top level of compression. I think they've got 3 different levels. I haven't bought them in a while, but the last time I did, they had 3 different levels of compression. And these are the ones that are commonly referred to as the award show Spanx. They're the highest level of compression. Another reason is that it's like the full short suit, right? Generally, I prefer to find the ones that don't have the bust because this can go a little like uniboob. Certainly any of the ones that I've ever gotten kind of go under the bust so I can wear like my own bra, because I am picky about that, surprising to probably nobody. But these things retail like $100 and they'll resell pretty healthily, right? Like you'll see somewhere probably north of 30 bucks, sometimes up into the 50s, 60s. And like even more so if you find larger sizes. This is a size medium, but if you can find the plus sizes, that's an even better and quicker sale. So again, great condition Spanx, but just make sure that they are Spanx and not the diffusion line. I think it's called like Essentials by Spanx, and it was carried in Target. Those will not sell anywhere near as much as the regular Spanx. Spanx in general is a brand to be on the lookout for. They might not be the most like in style or like hottest brand right now, but the people who love Spanx clothing absolutely adore Spanx clothing. Like their jeans have a cult following. Couldn't be me. I like my loose fitting jeans at this point. I don't like the word compression really anywhere around my body. So it's not for me, but I do know that if I spot a pair of Spanx jeans, I'm gonna pick them up, and you should do the same. Next up, I got this cute little robe. This is just a gift. I'm literally just showing you everything I got. A friend of mine's been looking for a lightweight robe, and this is like one of the colors that she wears, so I just grabbed this for her. It's like a linen cotton blend, super cute, lightweight, kind of short sleeve. This looks like something you would see at like a resort in Southeast Asia, and it very well might be, but either way, again, just grabbing that for a friend. Next up, this cute little Free People top. This is 100% cotton. It's got these really like densely pleated shoulders. I don't know how much detail you can see on the fabric there. And then it's got these like leg of mutton style sleeve. It's not quite leg of mutton, they don't pinch in here, but they have that silhouette. It is a size large, again, 100% cotton button down. Something like this, I have to look this up. I'll see probably a minimum of $20, $25, depending on if it's like a newer model or something that's like really hot from them, which I could kind of see with the silhouette. This is a lot of what they're doing. In their main line, this could be more like 30, 35, but yeah, very, very cute. Again, I saw it in the bin and all the other factors told me that it's at least going to be that kind of minimum level of acceptable return on investment. So it's one of those like, grab it fast, don't comp it in store, check it when you get home. If it's any better, it's gravy. And I know a lot of you guys have like a day job. So having that kind of structure, knowing like, okay, this brand, this fabric, this style, it's at least gonna get me this much. That helps you like shave down the time that you need to take thrifting. So I urge you to kind of figure out your like minimum profit and use that as like a baseline structure for when you do go out and source, especially if you're, you know, going out on your lunch break or you've only got an hour on Saturdays, whatever the case may be. It really helps you like manage your time. Next up, we've got a little vintage baby piece, and I actually do fairly well on vintage baby pieces. And look at how adorable this little dress is. These kind of things, again, they sell quite well for me. I'm gonna guess that this is probably 80s. This is, I guess, supposed to be like kind of pinafore style, and it's just adorable. Something like this, probably, you know, 25 bucks, maybe a little bit more. I love the little blue color, and it's by Baby Togs, so super cute. Next up, I got a pair of hiking pants. This is from Cloudveil. I really like Cloudveil's hiking pants. So, you know, I like to buy things that I like as well. The thing I like about them is that they have a high enough waist. For whatever reason, hiking pants are notoriously like lower waisted than, you know, like I am somebody who needs high waisted. If I am picking up my leg to climb up a boulder, I do not want the world seeing like the top of that. You know what I'm saying? So I like how high-rise they are. I like the cut of them. These are in like great condition. They've got some like roll tab legs. Now, they're not the most expensive hiking pants. They're certainly not the cheapest, but I should see about 30 bucks for these on the resale market. They're in great condition. And it's a brand I don't see all that often. I think this is the first time I've ever seen them in the bins, but I own a couple pieces by them, and I do like them quite a bit. Also, like, this is like a weird little detail, but if you've ever been out hiking for a long time and you start to chafe on the inner waistband, this is like a soft, like knit fabric against your skin. Just like the details when you're dealing with technical apparel like this. Again, like perfect condition. Next up, this is 100% a style pickup. This is Jones New York 90s vintage, size 10. The reason I picked it up is because it's this maxi, this cream maxi skirt with this pretty like tonal tan floral pattern. This just feels very like quiet luxury. It feels very minimalist. I can see a million girls wearing this. I guarantee this will go to a girl in like Gen Z who doesn't know what Jones New York is, because of course. That's definitely a vintage label there. Something like this, probably 25 bucks or so. And again, probably something that I will see go on like Depop. This feels like something that I'll see go on Depop. But who knows? It is so pretty. But definitely a style-based pickup. Jones New York is not a brand that I really pick up, but it just has that perfect like 90s kind of Rachel Green sensibility about it. Which, by the way, you should be using like Rachel Green. If you have something that looks like Rachel Green from Friends, if you are unfamiliar, if you have something that looks like something she would have worn, use that keyword, because people are searching for like Rachel Green skirt, Rachel Green dress. Same with Lorelai Gilmore, same with Phoebe Buffay. Really, those three characters in particular are kind of like fashion muses right now. And the next piece I have here is hitting two trends, one of them being that kind of Rachel Green feel. This is 100% silk. It is vintage, new old stock. This is definitely like an old Ross tag. The brand on this is Ann Carson, but again, it's 100% silk. It's beautiful. It's this kind of darted silk blouse. So not only is this like very much a vintage style, I'm gonna guess that this is probably from the 90s, especially like looking at the prices and especially like looking at the tag, but it's also like burgundy. And I'll tell you, I'm filming this right in the middle of all the fashion weeks, and I'm like in the middle of doing the research for the video, like fall winter trends video, and it is all about burgundy, burgundies and browns. That is what we are seeing right now. So again, it's a beautiful silk blouse, it's 90s vintage, and it's burgundy. That is 3 great things. Guaranteed that this will sell super quickly, and because it is silk, I'll probably see somewhere like 35 on it. The funny thing is the original price at Ross was $11.99, compare at $30. So this absolutely has to be 90s, because a silk blouse compare at $30, this would probably say $150 today. Next up, this cute little top. This is from a brand called Lanston. And this is gonna be kind of hard to show because this is something that needs a body under it to make it make sense. So this is absolutely something I have to photograph on the mannequin, but it's this cute little satin. It's like a copper satin crossover top. The 2 panels on the top kind of cross over and hang down, so it's full coverage, but it does have like a little bit of a breeze, so it's almost like a reverse flyaway top. Lanston, super expensive brand. I'm pretty sure that they're sold at like Revolve. Really spendy, like sold comps for the brand generally are north of like 40 bucks. So I'm not quite sure what I'll see for this. I'll have to find this exact top, so I'll anticipate somewhere 30 to 40 bucks maybe on this. Really, really cute, and of course, brand new with tags. Next up, this is a little Under Armour shirt. Now this is a branded shirt for the company called Golf Tech. I guess they do, I'm not quite sure what they do in the golf world, but the reason I grabbed this is because it is brand new with tags, Under Armour. It's an Under Armour long sleeve, like lightweight tech shirt. It's UPF 50, and these are pretty spendy and very, very critical, especially if you are a pale-skinned person out on the golf course. So I'll have to do a little bit of research into what like this does to the price, but I'll probably see somewhere 25 to 30 bucks on this. I would imagine that if this wasn't branded, I would probably see closer to like 40 bucks on it. You know, because this stuff gets very, very pricey, especially when you're into like the more substantial pieces, like the half sips like this. You know, it's hard to leave behind brand new with tags golf pieces. Like, even with a branded hit on it, you know, there's still good pieces to have. You know, even if it's something to throw on at the beach for the UPF factor. Next up, we've got a linen piece here. This is from Susie D. London, which I've never really heard of, but it's just this cute, like shell pink, I mean, could it be more wrinkled? Linen, long line, this is like a tunic. It's got pockets. It's fully buttoned down. It's got shell buttons. It's got roll-up sleeves. So it's got a lot of things that people look for. And the thing that I like about this, it's one size. I guess it's called the Simone shirt. The thing that I like about this is that it's got, you know, button-down blouse, it's got tunic, and it's got swim cover-up. It's also got like linen shirt dress if you want to use that. I'll get this laundered, I'll get this cleaned up. This will actually look great once it's all smoothed out, but I will probably see somewhere like $35 on this. These kind of things sell so quickly for me, especially when you have that kind of crossover of, is it a shirt? Is it a tunic? Is it a swim cover-up? Is it a dress? And the answer to all of that is yes. So this is a perfect example of the kind of piece where you can kind of double dip with your keywords and really multiply the amount of eyes that get on your item, right? That's what we're doing with keywords. Every keyword you use is, you know, hitting a new batch of potential buyers who are searching for that keyword. So next up here, I mean, like, I'm not gonna leave any beautiful eyelet behind. So this is a skirt, which I initially thought was a dress. And this is from Jen's Pirate Booty, which is one of those brands that's sold at Free People, and the prices are crazy. That is the label. It's really distinctive once you get used to it. It's like a little piece of fabric. I love on the back, wash in the ocean, hang from a palm tree, or lay to dry in the sand. This is clearly resort wear, beachy type stuff. So this is a maxi skirt. This was part of a set. I did look all around this to see if there was any more, just because this eyelet is so beautiful, but it's an ivory color. It's a size large. It's in perfect condition. And something like this I'll probably see like 40, 50 bucks on, maybe a little bit more. Again, Jen's Pirate Booty is one of those brands that, like, if you're searching through Free People, you're like, oh, I love that dress, and all of a sudden it's $350. This is one of those brands. But there's a lot about this that people like. There's a lot about this to keyword. This is beach cover up, beach skirt, beach dress, you know, eyelet skirt, bridesmaid, bachelorette, because it is, you know, it is in the white family. So lots of legs on this one. Next up, this is another one that I grabbed that just felt so well made. The brand on this is Manière de Voir. Not sure if I'm saying that right, but again, brand new with tags. And I really liked this style. This gives like kind of Kim Kardashian Balenciaga vibes, if that makes sense. It's got an exposed zipper in the front. It feels like suede. Like it's kind of like an ultra suede texture, and it's got like a faux leather piping trim. It has like a contoured look, so it's gonna like really snatch the person wearing it. Very expensive brand, and very expensive brand. I want to say that this probably retailed like 150 bucks. And on the resale market, I haven't found this piece exactly, but it does look like their pieces are selling for a pretty good clip, especially when they're brand new with tags. So probably somewhere between like 30 and 50 bucks on this. A lot of their dresses are reselling in like the $80 range. So keep your eyes out for this brand for sure. I've never heard of it before. Again, just one of those things that I picked up because it felt nice, and you know, we take chances. I'm happy to take the chance for you so we can figure this out. We'll see how this does, but I'm optimistic just looking at the other sold comps in this brand. All right, on to bag 2. Oh, this is funny. Okay, so when I get to the bins, one of the first things I do is grab just 1 or 2 pieces out of a bin to put it in the bottom of my bag. I always use my little IKEA bags when I'm outsourcing. And I put a piece or 2 of clothing in there just to kind of weigh it down, because if you don't, it kind of like floats everywhere and gets in the way. And every once in a blue moon, I grab something and it's a win. And this is one of those times. So I pulled it out. It's this beautiful little gauze shirt. This is all beading. I'm like, ooh, beading, yes please. And it's Calypso St. Bard. So this is definitely a high-end brand. They're based in St. Barth, and they are very, very, very expensive. I've only found 1 or 2 other pieces from them, and they've sold crazy quick for a great price. We'll see what this will resell for. Probably somewhere 40, 50 bucks. Like I said, every once in a blue moon, I hit a little bit of a jackpot on that first thing, because it's literally like I walk in the door and I just put my hand in whatever the closest bin is and grab a couple pieces and throw it in my bag. And yeah, every once in a blue moon, we find something great. It's definitely a brand to be on the lookout for, and they go under Calypso St. Barth, and they also go under just Calypso. So keep your eyes out for really just that word in general. Next up, this is a little cutie from Madewell. Now, I'm pretty selective with what I pick up from Madewell, but when you see a cute little jacket, it's brown corduroy. It's got the cutest little like floral stitch pattern in it. This feels very 70s vintage to me. Corduroy is of course one of the big fabrics of the season, and this is just adorable. So the size tag is cut out. I want to say that this is probably a size medium. It's like a boxy, slightly cropped fit, but it's very cute in like brand new condition other than that size tag being pulled out. This is from, if you didn't know this, on Madewell, I think J. Crew tags as well, they're owned by the same company. If you look at the inside tag and you look behind the bigger tags, there's a little tiny tag here, and that'll tell you when the item was made. So this one you see HO22, and that means that it was holiday of 2022. So if you're ever picking up something from Madewell, and I will say you probably want to keep it to the last couple years, unless it's like an extraordinary like style pickup or something super like classic and substantial. If you're unsure if it's a good pickup, check that tag. And if it's, you know, holiday 2024, great, that's great. But if it says holiday 2016, maybe not the best pickup. It's an easy little way to get another piece of the puzzle as to whether or not you should pick something up. Like I said, every Madewell piece has it, every J. Crew piece has it. If you guys know of other brands that do something like that, put it down in the comments down below and help your fellow resellers out. But something like this, I'll probably see like 40, 50 bucks on. It's super cute and feels like very of the moment. Next up, so this is an interesting one. This is a nightgown, 100% cotton, and it's just like, it's a long kind of vintage style nightgown. The brand on this is Victorian Classics, and these don't retail like a crazy amount. I want to say that they retail like 80 bucks and they resell like 30 bucks. The thing to remember is that stuff like this, I mean, you just like, it's hard to find these days, and it's something that there are a lot of people who like really love this kind of stuff. So any piece that I've ever found that's like this has sold really, really quickly. Now there are brands that are more in demand than others. Like I don't think that this is a particularly in-demand brand, but if you find something that's like Lands of Salzburg, Vermont Country Store, stuff like Laura Ashley, like some of those pieces will go into the $80 on the resale market. So keep your eyes out for stuff like this. As always, don't sleep on sleepwear. And you know, this is the kind of stuff that you can probably pick up as long as the price is right, or you know, or you check the comps for that particular brand and see how they're doing. But something like this, keep your sourcing cost to like the bins prices and you should be good. This will sell in no time flat. Definitely a good find. And I do not see a lot of that kind of stuff in the thrift, in the bins, anywhere. So it's not easy to find even on like the secondhand market. Next up, now this is something that I picked up because the quality on this feels absolutely insane. So this is a little kind of paper bag tan mandarin collar 3/4 shirt. This entire thing is double layer. I wish you could feel this because like this is a masterclass in quality craftsmanship. It's piped all around the side. Even the closure is like precision and hidden with these little like snaps underneath. So the brand on this is Head Porter Plus. And Head Porter is a Japanese brand. They do a lot of bags. So when I say bags, I'm talking like a $500 messenger bag. Very, very expensive, quality, quality, quality. And this brand in particular has now changed its name to Porter and Yoshida. Yoshida is the last name of the designer of the clothing line that Porter did. So it's definitely niche. This is obviously like a niche piece. It's, I want to say like a women's size small, but man, this quality is insanity. And like, look at how finely finished this interior is. Like, it's just, for somebody who looks at this kind of stuff, this is poetry. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not quite sure what I'll get for this. This probably retailed like $300, $400. And again, it is a niche brand. I actually have a friend that might love this. So maybe like 30 or 40 bucks, maybe somewhere a little bit higher than that. I don't know. I have to do a little bit more research onto this brand in particular. I know if this was a bag, I'd be looking at probably north of $100. So keep your eyes out for Porter, P-O-R-T-E-R brand bags, but definitely a cool find and definitely just a treat to hold this kind of craftsmanship at any time. Next up, we've got a little pair of Pilcro jeans. These are kind of like their straight leg jeans. This kind of jean from them does actually quite well for me. It's a size 28. They're like straight leg. They're made to look like vintage. They look like kind of like 1980s, very worn in jeans. They actually do, I will say, like Pilcro does the weathering of jeans very, very well. You know, nothing drives me more nuts than when I see like a whiskering pattern that looks great on a size 2, but looks like it was painted on somebody that's like a size 12 or 14. And I think that Pilcro does this really well across the sizes to make things look actually worn, where like bodies are actually putting, you know, the stress on the fabric. And this kind of jean from Pilcro does sell quite well for me. I'll probably see like $35 for it. And this exact cut, they have a few pairs that have like big patches on them. And I found 2 or 3 of those pairs and they've gone more in like the $40 to $50 range. So keep your eyes out for it. This is a tapered leg. So a lot of people would kind of walk away from this thinking that it's skinny, but it's meant to be kind of just off the leg. It's meant to be rolled up like this. It's a very like specific vibe that they're going for these jeans. And I will pick them up anytime I see them. I'll even pay up a little bit for them because they do move very well for me. Next up, we've got this, speaking of Japanese designers, we've got this cute little red dress. This is from Tadashi Shoji. He's US based, but his heritage is Japanese. And this is a silk little red halter style dress. The tag has been cut out from the inside, so I'm gonna have to do measurements on this. I'm gonna guess this is like a size 8, but Tadashi dresses are extremely expensive. This is probably about $400 to $500. But something like this, I'll probably see like 50 bucks, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less, but that's about what I get for Tadashi dresses. Really, really pretty. Like, look at the way that those ruffles come together. It's the details, man. Next up, yes, you see a leather jacket in the bins, you've got to pay attention. So this is an 80s vintage leather jacket. I've sold actually quite a few jackets similar to this. And you like, it smells like the 80s. I don't know how else to describe it. It's like ever so faintly of cigarettes, plus like a little bit of like the pine tree air freshener. It's like a very distinct smell that if you've ever been in like a Camaro in the 80s, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Anyway, so a little leather jacket. The brand on this is Burns and Baker, size medium. It's got that very distinctive like oversized lapel. I call that kind of lapel the Dorothy's Bornak lapel because they did Be Arthur So Dirty in the Golden Girls and gave her those really long jackets with the lapels that went all the way down when she was already a tall drink of water. But that's what I call them. So something like this, I'll probably get 40 or 50 bucks and no doubt this will go quickly. This is something that'll get up ASAP because this is something that'll either go for somebody who wants it for like fashion purposes or for Halloween. This is a very 80s style leather jacket, so this could easily sell for somebody who's dressing up in like an 80s costume. Oh, I forgot I got a couple of bags here. Usually I like to start with the non-clothing pieces, but the first piece I got is something I might keep for myself. This is a little backpack from a brand called Anello. This is a Japanese brand, and it's just like a little black backpack, nothing super special. The thing I like about it is at the top, there's like a steel bar in here that keeps its shape when it's open. And that is intriguing to me because I tend to have, like the backpack that I have now is one of the, it like zips around and just the front comes off, but it just feels like I can never get to the bottom of the bag. And I really like this. This retails like today, like $100. I'll see if it fits my laptop. That's the big question. I've got a big laptop and that thing goes everywhere with me. So if not, I'll sell it and I'll probably get like $30 for it. But I just really like the aesthetics of this. I like the way that it opens. I like these big straps. I like how like soft and kind of floppy the arm straps are. I like the shape of it. I'm super picky on my backpacks. I've been through so many. So we'll see if that works for me. If not, I'll get it listed. Like I said, I'll probably say like 20, 30 bucks on it. I also grabbed another bag. Now I want to know if you guys would have picked this up yourself. So I'm flipping through one of the bins where they have the hardline items, which is more like household. And I saw that. And I mean, like, if you've ever bought or looked at a Tumi bag, you know exactly how expensive something like this is. This was probably $400 or $500, if not a little bit more. It's got leather hits on it. It's a classic briefcase. It's got the padded laptop sleeve. It's in like great condition. The only thing that gives me a moment of pause is that it's got a branded logo on it. So this was like swag for some, I mean, like, could you imagine getting a Tumi bag from your employer? What? It is Antares Capital, so that's like, you know, capital partners, private equity, mega bucks. But yeah, I mean, it's super duper nice. Like I said, in great condition. I'm just like, I'm interested to hear whether you guys would have picked this up if you had seen it because it is branded. I mean, that's the kind of thing. If somebody's going to be spending a good amount of money on a briefcase, you know, they probably don't want it to be branded with a company that they don't work at. But at the same time, like the backpack that I use is a Tumi backpack and that thing has been used and abused and through the ringer and it still like looks fantastic. Doesn't look like it has a scratch on it. So I get the pricing. I mean, their pricing is a little extreme. Like if you're gonna do it, keep your eyes out for the sale because they do go on sale on occasion. But let me know. I mean, the similar briefcases are reselling between like $150 and $300. Assuming I'm not gonna get anywhere near that because of this, but maybe like $100. We'll find out, but like I couldn't leave this behind. Even if I gift this to somebody who's like just getting out of college and wants a really nice briefcase, like I don't care, but this cannot go in the waste stream. That would be a literal crime against humanity. Wild, right? Like in great condition. Next up, had to grab these. This is a little pair of Patagonia baby mittens. They're a size 3 to 6 months. So teeny, but they're brand new with tags. So had to pick these guys up. I want to say these retail, oh, they have the retail price. They retail for $45 for baby mittens, guys. For a baby mitten that will fit them for one season, maybe. But something like this on the resale market will probably go like 20 bucks. They're Patagonia, they're great quality. They can easily, when your baby's done with them, hopefully they can be passed on to another baby. So it's not just like a one use and done situation, but yeah, you see brand new with tags, Patagonia, anything, especially in the bins, you've got to pick it up. Next up, this is a pair of Lululemon leggings. And I'm interested, like I'm kind of debating whether to, because I have not sold a pair of Lululemon leggings in a while. I've sold Lululemon like tops and jackets and sweatshirts and stuff, but leggings not so much. But these are kind of on the newer side. These are Aligns with pockets and they're in this black camo that was like the pattern to get if you could get your hands on them. Actually, the green camo was the hard one to get. The black camo was a little bit easier to get, but they're in like brand new condition. Size 10. I don't know though, like I am in need of another pair of leggings or so I might just like liquidate the Lululemon leggings that I have for sale and take them in for like trade-in for store credit. So I don't know, I'm thinking about it. These again are kind of newer, so I might keep these and see if I can sell them. I would probably get like 35 bucks on them. But unless you're finding like black Aligns or the flare leggings or the groove leggings or the kick boots, whatever, I would certainly hold off from paying up for them. But if you find them in the bins, I mean, pick them up, because no matter what, it's like store trade-in. You know, you buy them for $1, you get $10 for it. That's a great turnaround. But yeah, that's where I am right now with these. So I grabbed these regardless. I might sell them. I might just put them in the pile for trade-in. All right, next up, we've got this cute little camisole that I got. Now this kind of falls into that like unusual lace category. This is like a little lingerie style camisole. This is from Current Air, which I believe was an Anthro brand. Super cute. It's black. It's a size medium. Just a cute little fun going out top almost. But again, that unconventional lace is so hot right now. So this really falls right into that category. I love this neckline too. Like, look at this, look at the placement of this lace. Like, that's the edge of flowers with a little eyelash trim there. Beautiful. Something like this probably, you know, 20, 25 bucks on this. Next up, this is a brand you should always be keeping your eyes out for. This is Buck Mason. This is the vintage surplus thermal tee. It's like this neutral tan color, size extra large. Buck Mason always surprises me with what it sells for. Like, I'll probably see somewhere $35 to $40 on this. And like almost certainly within 2 days of listing it. Every time I've ever found anything from Buck Mason, t-shirt, sweatshirt, pants, whatever it is that I found, they have sold so quickly. This is for right now, a big time bolo brand, something to feel comfortable paying up for. This isn't the most significant of pieces from Buck Mason, but anytime I see it, especially at bins prices, I'm picking this brand up. Next up, this is from Eli Tahari, and this is the higher end leg of Tahari. You've got Tea by Tahari, which I think is like sold in like Kohl's and those kind of stores. Boscov's, are Boscov's still around? Let me know. I haven't been in a Boscov's in a lot of years, and I just remember a lot of neon and a lot of mirrors. Let me know if they're still around, and let me know if that's what they still look like on the inside. Regular Tahari you would see in like Macy's and Strawbridge's, and then Eli Tahari would be like your Saks Fifth Avenue, whatever. So this is a cotton ice blue chunky knit cardigan. It's cotton knit, it's a chunky cardigan. This gives very like Nancy Meyers, that has that vibe to it. It's a good classic beachy coastal piece in fantastic condition. Yeah, it looks like the size tag was cut out. For whatever reason, they use these like plastic size tags, but I'm gonna guess that this is about a size small or a size medium. So it's a longer length. This is absolutely something that I wanna put on a chilly day down the shore. So very cute. And this probably retailed like 400 bucks. So I'll see on this probably like 40 or 50 bucks. Eli Tahari is very expensive, and it is a brand that people know. I've sold quite a few of these pieces, and they always sell for kind of more than I anticipate. I will just forever have that tied to Tahari in my head, you know? I will just forever have Eli Tahari tied to regular Tahari in my head, so it always kind of takes me by surprise how much those go for. You're down to 3 pieces. This is one that I saw on my like last stand at the bins. I was ready to roll. This is a pair of pants from Eileen Fisher. They're silk, they're wide leg, and they've got like a wrap over skirt front. They're size extra large, and they're in great condition. This is the tag you're looking for. I will always pick up Eileen Fisher when I see them at the bins. They just sell very well for me. They're very minimalist. So expensive. These are kind of like ankle length. So yeah, these feel very like Japanese minimalism to me, but something like this I'll probably see. Probably somewhere 50 to 60 bucks. Silk black pants. Like, Eileen Fisher pants sell well for me to start with, but when you're in the larger sizes, the extra larges, the 1X, 2X, especially when you're dealing with high quality fabrics, like they sell very well for me. So always an exciting find, at least to me. I know a lot of you guys don't touch Eileen Fisher, and I get it, but I love it. Sorry, 4 to go here. So next up is this beautiful silk scarf, and I'll tell you, scarves are everywhere this year. This one is from Hane Mori, who's a Japanese designer. I think one of like the few Japanese designers to ever show at Paris Fashion Week. And it's just this beautiful silk Sakura pattern with Against the Moon. It's bright red. The colors are vivid. This is in flawless condition. I believe that this is vintage. The finishing on this is absolutely stunning. I want to say that these retailed like $150. So I'll probably see like $30 or so on this. I'll just have to make sure that I'm like cleverly keywording this to make sure that I'm capturing like the scarf thing that is going on right now in fashion. But start keeping your eyes out for these scarves, guys, especially if you go to a bins location that is like by the pound. This would cost you like 10 cents. Even at an expensive place that is by the pound. This thing weighs nothing. It's like the weight of a paper clip. You could get 10 of these in 1 pound. So definitely keep your eyes out, and something not to be slept on, at least right now while we are in this moment in fashion. Okay, here's for the weird one, right? So this is blanket pants. I know that there are people who make these and they charge a fortune for them. So these are a pair of pants made from an old like woven blanket with fringe down the sides. It's got a little bit of like a Western feel to it. I had to take a chance on this. This is one of those like weird and well-made things. So this is obviously handmade. There's no like labels or anything in it. It's a size small for sure. High-waisted, kind of slimmer leg. Sold comps on pants like these. I found a couple pants that are like just like this, same deal, homemade. They're selling for like 50 bucks. So if anybody's got like a bunch of old blankets and sewing chops and a few hours on your hands, like maybe crank some of these guys out. But yeah, like I found a few on Etsy that are being sold by makers and they're over $100. And then on the resale market, I'm seeing again, like 50 bucks. There's not many of them sold, but there's not many of them available. And the ones that are sold are like surprisingly high price. So again, it's weird and well made, so we've got to take a chance on it. And this is definitely like weird. Here we go. This is like peak trend right here. So this is a rugby shirt. This has kind of everything going for it that vintage wants right now. So it's a rugby shirt. It's that black watch plaid. So you're hitting rugby, you're hitting that town and country feel, you're hitting plaid, and it's vintage polo. So this is, I want to say probably early 90s, and that tracks because this was the style in like the early 90s. But it's got your polo, your little screen printed polo hit here. It's got the rugby collar. It's got the black watch plaid. It's size medium. It's in great condition. This is like peak vintage piece right here. This is the kind, to be totally honest, I'm kind of surprised I got my hands on this. But yeah, very cool. Similar sold comps are going in the $50 to $60 range, which seems crazy to me. But this is like right in the crux of a couple different like key trend notes that are happening. So it's just gonna be a pretty desirable piece just because of all the different things that it has going for it. And it's polo, so it's well made. And finally, this was such a cool thing to find. So this is a little like kimono style dress, which is the initial reason I picked this up. And I looked a little bit closer, and this is Tori Richard for Liberty House. Now, I don't know much about Hawaiian shirt brands, but I do know Tori Richard. Tori Richard is very high-end. Liberty House was a department store in Hawaii, and having that on the label kind of dates this to a specific era. But Tori Richard is for sure a brand you should keep your eyes out for. You know, they've made Hawaiian shirts for like presidents that have come into Hawaii. They've done a lot of custom shirts for like movies and TVs. It's like, I'll put it this way, if it's a Hawaiian shirt brand that I know the name of, it's pretty dang famous. In fact, I know a lot of you guys out there have much, much, much deeper knowledge in Hawaiian shirts. So if you've got a few like killer shirt brands that we should be keeping our eyes out for, drop them in the comments. I mean, I see a lot of Hawaiian shirts out here, and it would kill me if there was something that was like super collectible that I'm leaving behind. I mean, obviously it's something for me to sell, but it's also like, you know, collectors are looking for things specifically because they're hard to find. So I don't want them to go off and be bailed and, you know, end up on a beach in Ghana. So let us know what brands we should be looking for. Let's make sure that we're saving those treasures. But anyway, the Tori Richard for Liberty House label, I want to say that this is from the 70s. It's made in the USA. It's a size small, it is midi length, it's in otherwise flawless condition. There are similar dresses for sale for like $300. Realistically, I think I'll probably see somewhere between like $60 and $80 on the resale market on this, but it is Such a fun find and a great opportunity to talk about a cool vintage piece to keep your eyes out for and a cool designer that is still in business and still very active right now that you should be keeping your eyes out for. I'm sure all of the people up the East Coast who don't know anything of Hawaiian shirts like I was don't know who Tori Richard is. So if you are out there and you see that label while you're in the thrift, you better pick that up. Because I'll tell you one thing, I would have walked right past it before I moved to California. And that is why reselling is so fun, because we are constantly learning new stuff. But guys, that is it. That is my haul for today. Not bad for like an hour and a half in the door and out the door, right? Some very cool brands, some cool vintage, some cool style pickups, lots of cool things that really touch on what is happening right now in fashion. So I'm excited to start getting these things listed, especially some of those things that I want to get listed before Halloween. But all in all, I think I've got somewhere like $1,200 in sales here, so not too shabby for an hour and a half in the bins. I dug like an absolute fury while I was there, so I'm glad I was able to come away with some really cool pieces and lots of stuff to talk with you guys about. But guys, I so appreciate you taking a little bit of time from your crazy week to hang with me and nerd out about these things and share your stories. You know I love to revel in your wins as well. It always makes me so happy to see. But guys, if you had fun, please consider leaving a like or a comment on this video. Of course, don't forget to hit subscribe. I would love to have you along on this journey. But without further ado, guys, I hope you have the most beautiful week. Happy hunting, and I will see you all in the next one.